Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and today is Saturday, July the 28th. Can you believe that? So today, this is my Saturday Happenings video for the week. And if you're new here, on Saturdays I like to come in and kind of review the videos I did last week and talk about what's next week. And the cool thing is because I can answer some questions and address some things from the previous video. So let's talk about it. Last week was super cool because last week was kind of dominated by Brian. He did some good things, let me tell you. I am so excited for, so he did the cranberry, both the cranberry mostarda, which, oh my gosh, so good. I'm actually going to go get, I think probably either pork chops or a pork roast and thaw, and I'm going to use that on there, and I will do a video of that. But, Coolio, because he was using, in both of those videos, he used the ladle to stir, and I had so many people say, give that man a wooden spoon. And so I just have always used my ladle because I know to take, that ladle isn't round. It's shaped so that it's got a rounded edge, and I can go around the corners, the edges, the inside corners of the pot with that. But next time Brian cans something, I will make sure he has a wooden spoon. But the chicken, can I tell you, I still have, so I had 380, so 40-pound boxes. I went and got 3. So it's 120 pounds. Now he's done. We've got one 40-pound box. But then my friend Tammy, you know who you are, told me that they had the thighs on sale. So I went and got a box of thighs. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another box of chicken breast, just, ugly chicken canned. But then I've got that would leave me a breast and a thigh, and I think I'm going to do 20 pounds of thighs, 20 more pounds of breast, and then 20 pounds of a mix of thighs and breast. So I'm just going to do that. I've done videos on that, but if you want a video on the chicken thighs, I can do that, because a lot of people asked if you can do chicken thighs because all I did was breast. So maybe I can do that. Anyway, but when he canned the chicken, he used the app, and I have an old phone that, look at Snickers on there. I have an old phone that I use I put the app on it and I use it for stuff so that, I have this set aside in case something happens and I need to answer my phone or whatever. I know that the app will always go on here. The app is so cool, though. It will do your basic food. It won't do like the recipes out of books and stuff like that, because that's just a lot. But your basic stuff, like how to can vegetables, if you want to do green beans, if you want to do corn, you can go in there and put corn, and it'll tell you to pressure can. Now here's the thing that I love the most about the app. Sure, it's a timer. Great, there's timers all over the place, and even when I use a timer, I always use a backup timer, like a manual backup timer, because I don't want to rely on just one electronic timer, because if my phone died, or the battery died, or the phone itself just croaked, or my power went out so my Alexa didn't work, whatever, or I blew a fuse, maybe I could blow a fuse, but whatever, I always have a manual backup timer. So there's that. That's important. But the cool part about the app is you cannot go to the next step without checking off each of the steps in that. Like, there's all the steps, but each in there. So, like, when I used to come home from work, I'd get off at like 6, and I'd come home and I'd can stuff. And I would do like 20 pounds of chicken, and I would be tired. And then later I'd think, did I let that come to pressure before I put the weight on? Did I let it come to pressure before or not put the weight on, but did I let it come to pressure before I set the timer? Like, I don't remember. So by using the app, you can't go to the section that says put the weight on or set your timer. You can't go to the next step without checking off each of the steps. So I know I don't ever have to worry about it. I know for fact that it was done. And that's my favorite part about that app. So get that app. It's just simply called the Canner Timer and Checklist app. It looks like that. There's 2 versions. I just updated to version 2. It'll tell you that you have to have your sound alerts on. But see there, you can choose your vegetable, fruit, meat, seafood, or pickles, and it walks you step by step. You got to get that app. It's just the best. So we did that. That was cool. And then the cranberry mostarda, I'm excited because I'm going to get like a pork roast or some pork chops, and I think I'm going to do that, and I'll do a video this probably week of that. The balsamic rosemary jelly that we did on the chicken was so good. And those breasts that I got are huge. So I did 2 of them. That pan in that video, that's only 2 of those breasts. So one of them I left over, and then you know what I did with it? I kind of shredded it up, and I made like a chicken burrito with it. It was really, really good. Okay, so there's that for videos. This week, I had such a good week. I want to show you guys a couple of things. So I'm going to post, I just took pictures, I didn't do a video. But I'm going to show you this because I have a couple of things planned. I have some instructions here. So I went down to our little local sewing shop. It's called the Electric Hospital in Coos Bay. I love it. They have, oh man, they have long arm quilters. They have really good machines. It's where I bought my serger and my Viking, my Lagertha, because she's a Viking. I love her. Anyway, it's where I got those. And you know, I went and I took a class on how to the serger, because if you buy it there, they'll give you classes on how to get the most out of it, which is amazing. But when I went and I did my class on my machine, I learned not just about my machine, but literally they went through the different types of needles. And did you know there's a way to test your needle to make sure that the thread, different weights of threads are like thicker? And so he was showing how you can put your needle on the thread and slide it up and down to make sure that it's going to go through, because sometimes if the thread is too big really for the eye of the needle, even if it goes through there, but if it doesn't go through there smoothly, that's why you get broken threads. It was just the best. But I took this class, so I want to show you this bag. Okay, you guys, I make bags, right? But look at this bag. So this is super cute. There's a pocket on the front which matches the lining. But you know what's cool about this bag? And I asked her if I could do a video because I didn't know if this is like her personal proprietary thing. She said, sure, go ahead. So I'm going to do this. I like number 1. There's a fusible kind of a interfacing in there that makes the handles a nice sturdy handle. But let's say you're taking this to the farmer's market and you buy too much and it's not going to fit in here. You can reach in here and pull out. Oh, it's also got a hard bottom that's done with a plastic canvas piece. Hang on, I got a C in there. Okay, there. So you can go in there and you can pull out an extension. Look at that. So that can make the bag twice as tall. And then it's got like a little drawstring right here. Let's see. Whoop. You can just drawstring that bag and make it an extended bag. Isn't that clever? So that's on my list for you guys. So I want to do that video. It's got a clasp here, so you can clasp it shut. It's got a little magnet clasp. But I took that into the fabric store when I was buying fabric. It's cool. Yes, I bought fabric, even though I have all of that fabric from my mom, because I have a plan, and I'll show you that. Also, I have a plan. I'm going to show you how to make super cute slippers, house slippers, out of denim jeans. So that's another project. And the reason I like that is because I don't like to wear shoes when we travel. You know, if we happen to go on an airplane, which I hate, or even a long road trip, I like to have something comfy to slip my feet in. So I'm going to make some of these, and I'm going to take you along on that. I also have all the stuff out to do my spice blends. It's all on the counter. I should get that done this weekend. I know I tried to do it last week, but I had so much going on. So I'm going to do that is coming up. And I am going to do, I'm part of, again this year, the Fermented February, which is so excited. Oh my God. I love the Fermented February because it's so fun. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I've got to get that going because I will be working on that video this week. So those are some videos I'm going to work on this week. But what I already have for you coming up next week, on Monday, I am going to do, there's a video, it's already ready to go, it's up ready, it'll be published on Monday, and I'm going to go over the different types of shelf-stable milks. So there's like several different types of shelf-stable milk, and you use them some in different ways, but I'm going to review what different shelf-stable milks there are, and this was a suggestion from Leanna over at the Mennonite Farmhouse, because we were talking about the difference between dried and instant milk. There is a difference, and I'm going to show you in my video. Anyway, so that's coming up on Monday. And then here's the thing. So we live on the Oregon coast, and in the last like month, there's been like 4 whales that have washed ashore. So weird. But there are different reasons, and it's not like anything extraordinarily. It's just weird that so many have done it in such a short period of time. But usually it's just regular things. But there was one that was actually not far from my house. So I'm going to tell you guys, there is a video, and it was where we went out. I did not show the whole whale, but it was interesting. It was a beautiful day, too. So we just took a drive, and Brian goes, let's go check out the whale, because it's just out there. And it's not a massive one. This is just a little one. So anyway, it was interesting, but I was so interested in the baleen plates, that, you know, how they filter their food. That was really interesting. So anyway, there's a video about that. And then I did a video that's coming up because I've got to finish this quilt because I have another plan. But I have all of these quilt blocks. I need about, I think there's 12 more to make. And then I will be able to put this quilt together. But I did the video on how to do the paper piecing on these blocks. So I'm not a professional quilter. I'm just very interested in starting to do more. And that's something I thought I could start with easy, because it's like an easy way to do a good block with the little corners all meet up nice. So I did a video showing you how those to go together. But then, oh, I gotta tell you guys, this is so cool. So Leanne, my friend over at the Mennonite Farmhouse, she was showing me how she's making these canning mats, and she has this thing that's called an AccuCut, and it cuts quilt block pieces so that you can sew it together, which is one of the reasons probably why I'm more interested in quilting now, because of things like I used to have, when I did try it, I felt like a failure because I would cut the pieces and they wouldn't line up right, which is why I like the paper piecing, or I just didn't like all the incredible time it took to cut all the pieces. So she was showing me this AccuQuilt, and it like cuts the pieces. They have that down at the Electric Hospital too. But it cuts the pieces for your quilting, which is kind of cool. And then I thought, wait a second. My Cricut Maker, I have one of those Cricut machines, and not all of them, but I think when it got to the Maker, it cuts fabric. And I was like, how come it couldn't cut like squares and triangles? And I thought it probably should. So then I looked online and I discovered something very exciting that even the lady at Joann's didn't know. I'm going to show you. If you have a Cricut Maker or above, the ones that will cut fabric, I'm going to show you. So if you go into your Cricut app, see, and the lady at Joann's was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you showed me that. So if you go to your Cricut app and then you come here, if you go to search and type in quilt, Q-U-I-L-T, blocks, quilt blocks, and hit the old search button. Oh, I think I just have to write quilt. The blocks makes it want to make it little kids. Q-U-I-L-T. Quilt. Okay, so then looky here. There are, why isn't it coming up? I want to put fabric. Quilt. Okay. Anna Griffin. Let me see. Let's get there. I'm going to type in Anna Griffin. See if that works. Happened on my other phone was no problem. Okay. Let me put on mountain quilt. My other phone just went right into it. It just says mountain. Let me put in, hold on, I'm gonna find out what I have to type in so I don't lead you wrong. Hold on. I know why that wasn't showing up for me, because I had just downloaded this, and so I had it on the Cricut Explorer, which does not cut fabric. So if you go to Cricut Maker, which is what I have, and now, because it won't come up if you don't have the machine that will do it. So then I typed in quilts, and looky there. You see? These are quilts. See that? Those are quilt placemat, and they have these Anna Griffin. Look at those. Those are quilts that you literally will cut the pieces out. I'm super excited. So I'm going to show you which one I'm going to do. Where are we? Look at that's a cute one for the RV. It cuts all those out. That one cuts. I'll show you which one I'm going to do, because I am excited, because it's easier than how. Okay, I'm going to do this one. So if I touch that, do you see this quilt? Like I bet you guys didn't know, right? It makes that quilt, and it tells you those are the if you're familiar with your Cricut, those are how your pieces are going to get cut. See that? The cool thing is you go down here, it tells you everything you need, but further, you actually can download and print out the complete instructions for putting together and making this quilt. And it has the layout, how to lay it out. It tells you like your pieces, but these are all cut by the Cricut maker. So I'm excited because there's tons of quilts. There's just tons of quilts like Anna Griffin, and people pay for these quilt patterns. So I was excited because I was able to go to the store and check off all of the fabrics that we need, and I did a little video on that, and that'll be coming up. But look, it tells you exactly how to lay them out. And then the cool thing is, it does give you a blank template. So say I wanted to go in and do this with different colors, I could play around with what it's going to look like. That's super cool. Now, if you're a clever person, see if you click Make It, it's just going to come over here, and it's going to tell you all your little, to lay out your fabrics. So cool. But then, if you are clever and you hit the canvas, and then go down to image and type in quilt block. You could do this, of course, with paper if you were a crafter. But see there, if I go down here, it actually will have the quilt blocks. It's got, I think, if you spell quilt right, it makes a whole difference. So see, you could go there. And then you could just decide, like if I want to make 4 of those, I would just cut that in 4 different colors and then mix all the squares around. And then even if you go further down, see these, like if I want that one, it literally is going to, let's say make it, we're going to say on a mat, continue. It's going to tell you each color a mat to cut your fabric out. Amazing. So I'm super excited about that. So I went to the store, I did a video on this, but I'm going to show you. Look at this. This is going to be my first quilty quilt from my Cricut maker. So I bet you didn't know. If you didn't know, I'm glad I got to help you out. The lady at Joann's was like, I wish you hadn't have shown me that. So there is a discovery, and so I'm excited about that. But this week, that's what we're doing. I'm going to do the shelf-stable milk, and I used the shelf-stable milk so that the first Tuesday in January, that's the shelf-stable recipes collaboration. So I used that to create the recipe for that. So you're going to want to watch for that. The shelf-stable collaboration is the coolest collaboration. Like, it's so smart because people are actually building recipe books that you can use with your food storage. So far, next week is the shelf-stable milk. The Oregon coast, like the whale, if you don't want to watch that, don't watch it. I don't show the whole thing. Like I said, I just show a couple of things, the seagulls and whatever. And then how I'm doing those blocks, those paper piecing blocks. But, of course, I've got so much going on. There's more to come. So who knows? I will try to get some other things done for next week. If not, I always have a plan. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Just an add-on, if you have a Cricut and you do that, you could print that out, get your fabric, and I'm thinking I'm going to give myself like 2 weeks on this other quilt to finish it, and then maybe we could do like a whole quilt along, and you could go on, we could share. It would just be cool. So go over to your Cricut, and that's the Anna Griffin Bwind, B-W-I-N-D, whatever, mountain quilt. So if you want to do that together, print that off, let me know you got it, and we'll get started in a couple weeks.